Yeah. Great, Caleb. So we're having this wonderful conversation here, and we shared some pretty nice transformations, like amazing transformations actually with me. And thank you for being open to share that with other people. I think it's very inspiring. Like if you can tell us like a little bit about the transformations that you have experienced.
Thank you. And thank you, because, it was about 2 years ago when you asked me. I came out about having bipolar and was honest about it on on the Facebook site. And you responded in a week or so or a couple of days later by asking me if I'd like to do some work on the bipolar. And I just thought right away, yeah, that sounds great. And I remember telling you, I think a lot of people with bipolar have a lot of trauma in their histories, some of the research and reading I've done and the people I've met. And you were like, okay, great. And so I was like, okay, great. And then we met for 9 sessions. And I worked through the most incredibly difficult internal representations, things that I thought I would never even be able to remember enough. As when you have manias, it's really hard to remember. When you have depression, it's really hard to remember afterwards. But after doing our work, I have a really clear continuity of all those things that happened to me throughout the experience from 24 to 40. I had experience of bipolar, and I'm 47 now, and I haven't had that experience in the last 6.5 years. And I attribute that now. At first, it was okay. I'm balancing my medications and I'm sticking close to home and I'm really kind of grounding myself in all sorts of activities. But then it was the crucial work with you that flipped things. I feel not that I don't have bipolar anymore. That's not how I feel. It's not what I think. What I think is that what I know is that if any phenomenon is to come up where I start to head in that direction again, I get the feedback right away and I make adjustments right away. And so I never get to the place anymore where I'm concerned or other people are concerned about me. And it's this fundamental ground then that I then launched all this other self-concept work on that has changed my life entirely. I used to be like social with people that I loved and cared about and I was close with already. You put me in a group of any larger than 3 or 4 people and I'm a wallflower. I'm in the kitchen at the gathering and I'm next to one of the walls and I maybe am having a conversation with somebody else who's looking for a drink from the water faucet, And I'm now we did not a parts integration, but you did some core work with me about a month ago that flipped everything. All the ground that I've been building, this was the crucial piece that changed, that solidified all of this work that I was doing prior to that on just being able to be myself, be natural in the world, and it had to do with, I have Tourette syndrome as well. I have a movement disorder that you're aware of. And I had a huge explosion of activity because I hold back a lot of my activity, or I did in the past because I was ashamed of it and embarrassed and I didn't want to hurt people and all this kind of stuff. And so then I had this really big expression of Tourette's that I couldn't control. It happens to some of us. We get these tic attacks. If we hold a lot back, your nervous system just piles it up. And then one day it just all comes out and I couldn't control it. And I came to you afterwards and I was like, wow, that experience was really wild. And you asked me if I wanted to explore it. And we did this really deep, like a parts integration, but it was a deep. And we kept going to deeper levels of what that expression, that Tourettic expression was. Instead of demonizing it, you were asking me, oh, well, what does it want? And what is it looking for? And all this, we just kept digging. And now after that, it took about a week and then something clicked. And I now feel so fluid in my world and so at ease in myself and so unconcerned about what other people will think of me that I'm so much more capable of reading the social situations and responding in rapport with people, that any notion of what will they think of me and this kind of thing is just so far gone that I don't interface with it anymore. And so my gratitude is huge, because it's as if I've taken off this suit, this heavy metal, hairy kind of suit, and I just get to be in the world myself. And I don't know how else to describe that, but that's, I hope this made sense.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so happy and excited to hear that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Well,
you.
it's, it's my gratitude to your earnest and you've such a hardworking person, and all the skills that you bring and all the heart that you bring, it sets the container for people to have transformations, and people do, and I have, and I will continue to do that. And I am now on the path where I'm confident that I'll gain the skills so that I can truly pay forward what I've received. Hopefully I'll be able to pay that forward a million times over. That's what I want.
Beautiful. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to produce that kind of impact and help people.
Thanks. That's awesome. Thanks, Ishmael.
Thank you, man.